with a lot of agencies that represent disabled actors, and surprisingly, Lillian was in one of the first rounds of auditions we got, and I could not get her out of my brain. My producers felt the same way about her. We were like, there is something about this girl, we have to call her back. We called her back. It was, her callback was incredible, and we knew immediately that she was it. There was no debate, about who it was going to be. And then with the girls, all the girls that play the hobby horsers, they are all based in Portland, and a lot of them, actually almost all of them, it was their first time on a movie set, which was amazing. And then my producers had worked with Gretchen Mol before and suggested her, and I was like, what an incredible idea. We were just thinking about all these different women that could play her, and then we heard Gretchen's name, and I was like, of course, and she was so incredible to work with. And then Gerard, same thing, one of my producers, there he is, one of my producers had worked with him, and we weren't even thinking about casting. He said, I just want you to meet him. He's an incredible guy. And I thought, okay, I'd love to meet him. And by the end of that meeting, I was like, what if he plays Coach? Coach had been written to be like a 60-year-old older man, and then I met Gerard and I was like, doesn't matter how I wrote him, I think that's him, and it was just, he gives me chills just talking about him because he is so talented. I adore him. So, it was all the most incredible cast I could have ever asked for. My biggest goal with everything with this movie is I just want acceptance, not just for actors or people with disabilities, but I loved the idea of seeing hobby horsing, and a lot of people find it to be very comedic or it's very viral, and I love when people are have this niche hobby that they love and they put everything into. And I just think, in a world where there's so much viral moments and clickbait and things like that, I just wanted to kind of give an understanding and be like, there's a term called horse girl or horse girls, when sometimes they can be kind of silly, or people are like, oh, they're so weird, and I'm like, weird is the best way to do it. I'm like, we all need that. So I just wanted to tell a story about accepting all different types of people.
So I never thought that would be me, but I've done non-professional acting before. So I've done community theater and in high school theater, even technical crew in high school. And so I knew I loved doing the acting, but I did not know it would be me on the other receiving end. Just the experience, the great cast, great crew, and a great experience. We filmed in Portland, Oregon, so that's a place I'd never been before, and it was just so wonderful. It was delicious, and our set had craft service, so I just loved going to craft services as well. And so this movie is loosely based off of a true story of our writer Mackenzie Breeden's sister and her upbringing. So, and she has a disability, and our awesome Lillian Carrier, who plays our movie version of Margarita as Margarita. So the message is succinct, which is that we want to break down the barriers and break down the misconceptions of what disability is. So Lillian and I, she has autism and have Down syndrome, and she and I are advocates to change the way the world views people with disabilities. And this movie, Horse Girls, is one of the great examples of that.